Welcome to ChannelShift. I'm Rob D'Amico alongside Michele Rahal. Now it is time to talk a little two-wheel action, and we've seen some really bad crashes in the last couple of weeks. One of them, Jorge Lorenzo, high side crash, and last year we saw this happen to him. Took his confidence away. I don't think it did this time. I think he knows how to get past that adversity now. He crashed, got a hard crash out of the way, was able to get back on the bike and race.
Maybe he and Scott Speed went to counseling together. Who knows? But indeed, that is exactly what happened. He came out in the press and said, I've lost my confidence. That was last year. You and I both commented that's that's pretty strong to be on a factory team and to say something like that. He did, in fact, lose his confidence. That one is dead and gone. Somehow he overcame it. Rossi, was he playing mind games with the tires, saying, coming out and saying, hey, there's something not quite right with these tires, that, these guys are crashing because of the tires, while he meanwhile runs away from everybody. I'm not quite sure why the crashes are taking place, other than these guys will just absolutely go to and beyond that limit of what a tire can take. And we saw Rossi do it at Laguna Seca in one of the past races. Literally had to put his foot down to keep the bike from going down. So they're going over the edge to make these bikes to try to win, just to try to win.
Let's talk a little bit about Casey Stoner. Here's a guy who's crashed, does a great job, defending champion of the series, goes down, and he's been saying, hey, I have this mystery illness that's going on. No one can figure out what it is. Very fatigued after a race. I mean, after the USGP here in America, he got off that bike, and I was like, and this is one of the better times he felt.
That, yeah.
And it looked like he could barely walk and make it to the infield.
He could barely walk and make it from the garage off the bike to sit down in the garage itself.
It almost quickly reminded me of the Men in Black coming and getting Kyle Busch after the race at Daytona.
And carrying him off. But they literally did, and you notice that Hayden looked refreshed and fine. And it's gone from a fatigue-related illness to narrowing it down to what's known as Epstein-Barr. And they don't know, but he's undergoing a battery of tests, from what I understand, here in the United States. Yep. To find out what that may be, because you and I both know for 3 weeks, 3 solid races now, we've watched this guy go practice and die in practice, just die of fatigue in practice. And it's recurring, and whenever you see something like that, you know something's wrong. Stoner is one of the greats. Stoner is a match for Rossi, and all of a sudden that's fallen off. So that one's got to get cured somehow.
And speaking of crashes, Nori Haga in World Superbikes. Here's a guy who crashes out. Now American Ben Spies is back in the championship hunt. Only 14 points separate these guys. I mean, the great opportunity's got in place now. I thought for sure there was no way that Spies was going to beat Nori Haga. But now with this situation going on, he's hurt. He will be back on the bike, but Speeds is in striking distance.
But why did Nori Haga get that big points lead? He crashed as well. Spies crashed as well. So what you've got is 2 incredibly competitive people on the World Superbikes who are fighting each other, and they're going to crash. And that may very well decide the championship, is who doesn't crash. And that's what we see right now. This was an old injury that Nori Haga had that's been renewed, which were 2 broken vertebrae, if I'm not mistaken. These guys ride injured, and they seem to do very well. So I think the next one up is Czechoslovakia, if I'm not mistaken, and another challenging track, I would expect another 9th Super Pole for Ben Spies. But I think Spies has got everything it takes to take the fight to Nori Haga.
Yeah, the bet was on the table that Nori Haga was going to win on my part, but doesn't look like that. I may have to eat a little humble pie from Rahal over here.
No, that's all right. I've had to do it with you too many times. So I think the World Superbike has captured the fans' imagination. Just as much as Moto GP has, because those are bikes that people literally can identify with. A Moto GP bike is something that's Formula One level with traction control and things like that. World Superbike is something that you can go into a showroom and it certainly resembles. It's the win on Sunday, sell on Monday type of thing.
You brought up something earlier. It was about Nicky Hayden. Here's a guy who's been struggling, moves over to Ducati, and it hasn't had an opportunity to really shine there.
In Moto GP, yeah.
But man, in Laguna Seca, smiles, all smiles, got a 5th place. I mean, congratulations to him, well deserved, and it looks like he's on his way to making something happen over there finally.
Well, one can only hope, because when they changed the Moto GP platform, it certainly seemed to upset his style of riding. Now they're trying to take the Ducati, particularly the one he rides, and create it around him, because that's what they've done with Honda, with the Ducati for Stoner. They've built these bikes for these riders, and the different size engine and the different size bike seems to have affected Hayden in an unfortunate way.
One thing is for sure, these guys are crazy, no doubt about that.
Absolutely insane.
For Michele Rahal, I'm Rob D'Amico. Thank you for watching.